I don't know about y'all, but Freakier Friday was definitely a sequel that I was looking forward to watching this year. And after finally being able to go and see the movie, I'm glad I did. Freakier Friday has been out for about a week now. It is the sequel to the 2003 Freaky Friday starring Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. And in this sequel, we are following Anna, who now has a teenage daughter of her own, looking to be married to a man who also has a teenage daughter that rivals with Anna's daughter. Between the two daughters, Anna and Tess, the four of them together are trying to navigate this new family dynamic and trying to make it work, while Tess, being the overly involved grandmother, uses her skills as a therapist to, in her words, co-grandparent. Things start off quite tense, while all four of them are completely body swapped and expected to learn their lesson once again by taking a walk in each other's footsteps. I know that the movie has been out for about a week, but I'm not really going to talk that much spoilers. There's not really much that you could really spoil about this movie. I don't think you probably got an idea of what it is, but that is no diss to the movie. And let me start by telling you now, Freaky Friday is a movie I think that if you are within my age group and you grew up with this movie, you loved that 2003 film, especially if you had a younger sibling or younger sister like myself. Not to say that I was forced to watch the 2003 movie, because I wasn't. I love that film. I'm not afraid to say it. But this is a sequel that I was really anticipating because we get so many sequels. We just got one last month of Happy Gilmore 2, and a lot of the times these sequels tend to fall short of their original predecessor. Sometimes just because they took too long to make a sequel and it doesn't feel the same, or what worked for a movie back then isn't socially acceptable now, and you just can't do the same things that you did before. There's a lot of factors that go into making these sequels when so much time has gone on between the two. So I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I wasn't skeptical about this movie. The trailers did a lot for me though to get me into this movie. It felt very genuine and very on par with the original film. So I was excited to check this out. And I think as a sequel, as it stands, it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. The vibe of this movie is very for the times. It has a lot of these jokes and references aimed at the generation that grew up with the original film, but also, like most modern sequels, there's a few Gen Z twists and jokes that are either going to work for you or they're not. It also does a good job at capturing what Anna and Tess have been up to since we last seen them. Anna, who is this successful manager at Capitol Records, and Tess, who is thriving as a therapist, but also having her own podcast, which is just something that people do nowadays. A lot of this movie is really feel-good comedy and delivers in some nostalgic feelings, but don't think it totally relies on them. And I was appreciative of that. Talking about the things that I did enjoy about this movie, the things that worked for me, first and foremost, let me talk about Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. They're back like they never left. It seems like they very easily were able to slip right back into the chemistry and the dynamic that they had back in the original film. Personally, for me, I think Jamie Lee Curtis absolutely steals the show and is consistently funny throughout the entire movie. I feel like, at least from me, most of the jokes and most of the laughs were from Jamie Lee Curtis and the lines that she delivers. And not even the lines, dude, her just facial expressions and the way that she reacts to these moments, it was just hilarious. Lindsay Lohan also does a great job and feels very much so same character from the original, but well, also representing and showing that she has grown up as a person. She's older now. She has a kid. She's a single mom with responsibilities. One that I didn't see coming was Manny Jacinto as Eric. And I will tell you that that was a pleasant surprise. Now, if you watch the channel, you know that I'm a huge Star Wars fan. The only thing I ever saw Manny in was Acolyte. And while overall I feel like Acolyte was a horrible show and a big miss, in my opinion, I feel like Manny's character as a stranger was the best part of that show. But still to this day, that's the only thing I've ever seen him in. So it was shocking to see him in Freakier Friday and see that he has some chops. He shows a very different acting capability with this movie in playing the love interest and delivers really well with some very serious moments, but also his comedic timing. That was a shock and he did a decent job. I also find the main motive of this dysfunctional family merging with another, and that being the reason for the body swapping, to be pretty organic. Now, don't get me wrong, definitely has its similarities to the original film. I feel like it was always going to, especially dealing with this topic of step relatives, but it was able to add this new twist on an old lemon, and it delivers that really well, especially now with dealing with the introduction of step siblings as opposed to step parent, but also step parent. And with all that, I was really shocked that they were able to make it feel like such an authentic movie. And the actors here really felt like they wanted to be a part of this film. They had fun with it, and it made it a joy to watch on the big screen. Now, there are a few things that I didn't really like about this movie. Not too much in the fact that it kept me from enjoying the film, but some stuff I felt were a little unnecessary or just didn't work that well. starting off with the inclusion of Jake and him coming back. It seemed a little bit irrelevant to me because it felt like he was reduced to this sort of dumb douchebag kind of character. And it's not that he had crazy depth in the original film, but here he really just felt useless, honestly. The task that was trying to be made via Jake, there could have been a whole other way that they did that. And it was very obvious that Jake was just a nostalgic insert that they decided to throw in there. Didn't really work that much for me. Secondly, when it comes to the two young actresses that star in this movie, there's definitely room for growth. I will say that they did a decent job playing themselves before and after the body swapping. But once that switch happens, I found the performance to be a little bit dry. Some moments felt really forced. Not everything about it landed for me. But I also will say that there are some heartfelt moments towards the end of this film, and the delivery in these moments by these two young actresses actually pleasantly surprised me with how much emotion they were able to convey. So I do definitely got to commend them on that. Overall, for Freakier Friday, I think that it is a comedic and a very fun sequel to the original film. There are definitely moments in this film for older generations, late millennials, that will make you feel old and chuckle, but there are also moments of heartfelt performances that really tie it all together. It's definitely not without its flaws, unnecessary characters, a few copy and paste moments that feel slightly dragged, but overall I think that the movie delivers itself to be a really fun time and a worthy sequel to that original movie. I found myself having a good time with it. I definitely can see myself having this play in the background, and it's something that I would definitely show my kids. I didn't take them to go see this one. This was for me, but I do think that this is worth a watch. I also wonder about this film though, if it is going to be technically considered a success. The conventional opinion about it is that it is, with so far this movie making 44 million in its global box office debut, making 4 million over its budget. So it's being widely considered to be a success so far, but I don't know, because the 2003 film, granted by the end of its run, made 160 million worldwide off a $26 million budget. So we're gonna have to see how Freakier Friday legs out throughout these next couple weeks. So if you didn't go see it, if you were kind of hesitant on seeing a sequel to your beloved 2003 movie, I think you should go check it out. That is where I'm gonna leave it though in regards to Freakier Friday. If you did make it to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit that like button so we can push this video out to more people. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. That way you don't miss anything new that drops on the channel. But as it goes, y'all stay geeked. I'm out, and be smooth.